10 Best Smartphones for the 2016. Now that Google has announced the Pixel smartphones, it is time to see what Matthew Miller considers the 10 best smartphones available as we head into the gift buying season. With the Google Pixel announcement made earlier this week and no major smartphone announcements expected for the next few months, it's time to consider which device is best for this upcoming season. There are some fantastic options in the $400 range this year, with 3 of them making my top 10 list. I'm still partial to the expensive flagship devices, but any of these 10 phones could easily satisfy just about anyone until the next new phones appear in 2017. You won't find a BlackBerry or Nokia phone on my list this year, but Motorola and HTC are still competing well with others. I tested all of these phones except for the Google Pixel and ZTE Axon 7. If there were no battery concerns, the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 would be number 1 on my list, but given the battery fiasco and the possibility that there may be issues with replacement devices, I just couldn't include it at the top of my list, as I would hate for someone to purchase one and then have to go through a recall or replacement process or bodily injury. I placed it in the bottom spot, but once we are all assured the battery
1. Apple iPhone 7/7 Plus. While the Apple iPhone 7/7 Plus may visually appear to be a slight upgrade over the 6S/6s Plus, the improvements are enough to make the new iPhone an easy choice for millions. Water resistance, improved cameras, more RAM, a larger capacity battery, a faster processor, and stereo speakers are all compelling updates. Apple has always done well with the larger phones in the battery life area, and my 7 Plus is stunning. I can go for many hours without worrying about charging it up, and only the Moto Z-Force Droid has lasted me longer. Water resistance is becoming one of my core requirements for smartphones, especially for phones I like to carry out running in the rain with me. The iPhone 7 and 7 Plus added 67 water and dust resistance. One controversial change is the removal of the headphone jack. I personally have had issues with a couple headsets, but Apple includes an adapter and a pair of lightning earbuds, so it's tough to complain. The larger iPhone 7 Plus has an additional rear camera for telephoto and bokeh pictures, but the software to enable the portrait bokeh effect
2. Google's Pixel and Pixel XL. Google just announced the Pixel and Pixel XL, and these are the only devices on my list that I have yet to test out. However, they are the newest phones from Google, built by HTC, and have already done well with some initial camera testing and hands-on experiences. Google did something that no one else has with a large and small device. It included the same exact specifications, with the only differentiator being the size. I wish Apple would use this strategy, rather than always limiting the smaller form factor device. Due to availability, I actually ordered the smaller size Pixel for myself yesterday. The Pixel has a 5-inch display, while the Pixel XL has a 5.5-inch display. Both are the only devices launching with a Qualcomm 821 processor. Other key specs include 4 GB of RAM, 32 or 128 GB of internal storage, 12.3 megapixel camera and 8 megapixel front-facing camera, and Android 7.1 Nougat. The Android 7.1 Nougat operating system on the
3. Samsung Galaxy S7/S7 Edge. While the Samsung Galaxy Note 7 may be the ultimate Samsung flagship, the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge are still fantastic smartphones that won't be upgraded for another 6 months or so. These smartphones have industry-leading specifications, refined design, and capabilities that had me almost awarding it a perfect 10 in my review. The only con I could come up with for the S7 was that it is a fingerprint magnet, and for the S7 Edge that the Edge screen sometimes facilitated inadvertent screen presses. This is no longer an issue on the Note 7, thanks to the design of the sides. The Samsung Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge have extremely fast cameras that take incredible photos and video, responsive fingerprint scanners, and advanced Samsung Pay support, water resistance without the fuss of ports, elegant refined design with the use of metal and glass, and it also launched with sweet offers from us carriers and Samsung. Well, wireless charging is just a convenience. Samsung has everything you could want in a phone in the S7 and S7 Edge to make using one a shared joy. CNED also awarded the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge an Editor's Choice Award.
4. Moto Z/Z Force Droid. It's been a while since I've been impressed by a Motorola phone, but the Moto Z and Moto Z Force Droid look great, feel great, and perform well. These phones incorporate a modular design that actually makes sense and works well. The Moto Z is available as a GSM unlocked phone for $699, with the Moto Z Force Droid coming out as a Friesen exclusive, available for $720, 32GB, and $770, 64GB. The Z-Force Droid Edition adds a shatterproof display, which is something we don't see often today. Both phones have high-resolution displays, leading internal specifications, a water-repellent nano coating, and battery life that lasts longer than an iPhone 7 Plus. The Moto mods are priced from $19.99 shell to $299.99 projector and camera, but they snap on and off easily and are very functional. Hopefully we will see more mods added to the collection.
5. LG V20. LG doesn't get much respect in the mobile space. I label them the Rodney Dangerfield of smartphones, but thankfully the upcoming LG V20 takes the best of the LG G5 and LG V10 to offer a powerful enterprise smartphone with a removable battery, microSD expansion card slot, and a transmitter in a phone with a metal back and integrated drop protection. The LG V20 has a larger unique secondary front display similar to the V10, a second wide-angle rear camera, the ability to take standard and wide-angle selfies, a rear fingerprint scanner, and solid metal and glass construction. It's the first non-Google phone to launch with Android 7.0 Nougat, so unlike Samsung you won't have to wait months to see the upgrade to the current version of Android. LG continues to provide a transmitter in its phones so you can control your TV and other media right from the phone. The camera on the LG V20 still stands out above the crowd with manual video recording capability that gives you full control over the mix and other advanced recording settings.
6. OnePlus 3. OnePlus has made a few phones over the past couple of years, but each has disappointed me in some way. I purchased the OnePlus 3 in June and was completely satisfied. It is available for just $399, and for that price you aren't likely to find such a powerful smartphone. It feels much like an HTC 10, but the customization, more RAM, and longer battery life make it compelling. It does have a 1080p display, so the resolution is not as high as an HTC 10, but it is priced significantly lower. OnePlus has shown it can update the phone regularly as well, with a few updates already made since its release. It has some awesome customization options and is one of my favorite low-priced smartphones. Sandra Vogel gave it a 9/10 rating in her ZDNet review. CNET awarded
7. Honor 8. Huawei makes some amazing smartphones, but most Huawei branded devices are not available in the US. Huawei recently launched its first Honor branded device in the US with the Honor 8, and it's an incredible smaller Android smartphone. The Honor 8 is powered by a Kirin 950 processor with 4GB of RAM. It has a 5.2-inch 1080p display, 32GB of internal storage, a microSD card slot, dual rear 12-megapixel cameras, and an Enter port. There are plenty of customizations in the software, including knuckle sense technology. The dual cameras help you capture some unique photos too. The Honor 8 feels amazing in your hand, and at just $400 it is tough to beat. I awarded the Honor
8. HTC 10. After testing the HTC 10, I purchased my own black model. It has since been passed to my wife since I'm not that enthusiastic about its camera performance or limitations on customization. No other phone can match the audio experience of the HTC 10. If you use your phone for music or videos and like having a pocketable device that is built to withstand life's daily movement, this phone is for you. HTC has come a long way with the cameras, introducing the first front-facing camera with WIT. The rear 12-megapixel ultra-pixel 2 camera with WIT is its best yet, but there are still a few software tweaks to be made to beat out the Samsung Galaxy S7 and LG G5. My wife is perfectly happy with the camera, but I see too much light blowout in most photos. The price continues to drop on the HTC 10 make
9. ZTE Axon 7. Reasonably priced Chinese smartphones are making their way to the US, and ZTE offers up a compelling solution with its Axon 7 device. I haven't had the chance to try one, so cannot share my own experiences with this large $400 smartphone. The Axon 7 improves upon previous Axon devices and has many of the same specifications as the OnePlus 3. It includes a 5.5-inch 1440p display, 20-megapixel camera, full metal unibody design, Snapdragon 820 processor, 4GB of RAM, microSD expansion card slot, and more. The Axon 7 is focused on the media experience with high-res audio.
10. Samsung Galaxy Note 7. Samsung suffered major losses as a result of the battery failure and recall fiasco. I stuck with the company because I absolutely love the Galaxy Note 7 and continue to use it today. However, given a recent report of a possible replacement device failing, I just didn't feel right putting the Note 7 at the top of my list. Assuming the Note 7 has no recurring battery issues, nothing else in the mobile space can beat it. It has more innovation than Apple, offers the leading camera experience, has an incredible build quality and in-hand feel, has every charging technology you could hope for, and has a Samsung software experience that leads to daily discovery of new features and functions. The S Pen is a wonderful tool for productivity on the Note 7, and once you force yourself
Back in 2013, the huge rock features a 20-carat emerald cut center stone and may well be the ring worth $4 million that police said has been taken. In her social media posts from Paris Fashion Week, Kim and